Okay, we have just concluded the public hearing with the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Energy, accompanied by officials from the Rural Electrification Fund and also the regulator, ZERA, on the operations of the ministry for first quarter and second quarter. And we dealt with a number of issues. I think it's in line with our oversight role as the portfolio committee that is responsible for energy and power development. And as you can see, I think most of our time was spent dealing with the controversial issue of Mtapa, because there's a lot of confusion. And as it came out during the meeting, the permanent secretary has confirmed that they no longer have oversight and the authority over entities that went to Mtapa, which are from the energy sector, entities like Petrol Trade, ZESA, etc. And it's a cause of concern because there's now a gap of accountability. There's no oversight, and these are entities that are public entities. As you are aware, most of the MPs are worried about the issues of electricity, the issues of load shedding, and also the cost of electricity. So those are the issues that they hoped that the permanent secretary will address, but unfortunately she could not adequately address because she no longer has the authority. But as far as we are concerned, those entities are government entities. There's no law that takes away the responsibility from the ministry for to monitor the entities. So it's a bigger debate that we want to take forward in Parliament and also with the minister, because you understand, like what I said in the meeting, that during the last budget cycle, the minister um, brought a finance bill, and without discussing with the members of parliament, there was a provision that removed the oversight of the auditor general on these entities. So now we have got these entities that even the auditor general is no longer permitted by the law to go through their books. So that's a cause of concern, and it's a debate that we should be taking to Parliament. But we have also now then resolved that we should summon Mr. Mangunja and the respective entities so that they can come to before the committee to deal with these reporting issues, and also for them to be accountable to Parliament. As you heard, also the most worrying thing about the Rural Electrification Fund, it's a fund that is benefiting many Zimbabweans by providing electricity in the rural areas. They've done a wonderful job in terms of, but their work obviously is hampered by lack of funds. They are all over 160 million by one of the ZESA subsidiaries. And now the situation is worse. If the minister no longer has power over ZESA, how are they going to ensure that the 6% which they collect in terms of the law is transmitted? And how are we going to ensure that the debt which they are owed, 160 million, which will do a lot if they are going to pay the fund, they are 160 million in terms of fulfilling their mandate. So those are most of some of the issues that came out of the meeting. But by and large, it was very successful meeting. The ministry is supposed to come every quarter before the committee to report on the performance, the budget performance, and so on. And I think also lastly, the other worrying is the disbursement of funds from the treasury. You can see that we are already in October, but they've only received just slightly above 50% of what Parliament appropriated. It's a cause of concern because it means that the programs that Parliament appropriated money for in the energy sector are not going to be met because we are already almost on the last quarter. And I'm sure you are aware of the circular from Treasury, which has freezed most of the future funding, because I think by now they are now concentrating on Fumfuza program and other programs that they have. So it's a cause of concern. We want as Parliament to make sure that once we appropriate funds in a budget, there is no body or a ministry like what is happening now with the Ministry of Finance, that they go there and sit down and redo the budget, giving other entities more money than what Parliament has appropriated. and starving other entries that they want, because it effectively means that they've taken all the power of the parliament. So before this budget cycle, we must make sure that parliament's role in appropriating funds is restored. Treasury's role should be to disburse funds. So I think by and large, those are the issues that came out of the meeting today.